Hello everybody, this is Dorium Maldovar, aka Simon Fisher-Becker, saying, enjoy Dr. Freedom.
Okay, hello there, my name's Dr. Freedom, and I have the distinct privilege of interviewing Mr. Simon Fisher-Becker, who's been gracious enough to spare some of his time to sit down and discuss, various things. Right now it says you're touring for My Dalek Has a Puncture, your autobiography. Would you like to share a little something about that with the audience?
Yes, basically it's a one-man show. It's in the style of a panel. For those of you who come to the sci-fi conventions, you will know what I mean by a panel. But instead of me having an interviewer, I have a series of slides that I show which act as an interviewer, as if it were. And it tells my story, as well as a few anecdotes about all sorts of things. I cover questions which are normally asked. People often ask me, why did I become an actor? How did I become an actor? People also say, I want to be an actor. What do I have to do? So I cover all that as well as tell my little story. But 90 minutes isn't long enough to tell the whole story. So My Dalek Has a Puncture is the first of a trilogy. So it sort of tells my story up to the point where I'm offered Dorium Maldovar in Doctor Who. And then My Dalek Has Another Puncture, sort of says how things have changed for me dramatically, and talks about my experience on the convention circuit, etc. And then Let Zygons Be Zygons is really just anecdotes about how I dealt with some of my baggage over the years. And the actual book comes out later this year, October 2015, and you can pre-order online. So if you go to my website, which is fisherbecker.info, and check up autobiography pre-order, click on there and you can do so. And the publishers are Fantastic Books Publishing.
Okay.
That's the end of my plug.
Okay, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Had you always wanted to be an actor, or was there something that steered you into it, or?
I think deep down on reflection, I probably did. I mean, as a kid, I used to go to Christmas shows and go to plays and the cinema, and I was always fascinated about it. But actually being a professional actor or performer never really crossed my mind until my mid-20s. And now that I do it, it is really what I was born to do, if I'm going to be in a pretentious mode. I'm always happy best when I am acting.
Okay. When you first got handed the character of Dorium, what did you make of him from what you had on the script?
Well, the script was very straightforward, and I say to any potential writers, make your instructions to the actors very simple to help them grasp what you want. There's nothing worse than having 1.5 pages of description before you actually get any dialogue. But in Stephen Moffat's case, he just said, set homage to Star Wars. So I had a good idea of what it was going to look like. And this, of course, was the scene with Alex Kingston in the Pandorica Opens. And Dorium, large blue man, think Sydney Greenstreet. And Sydney Greenstreet was in Casablanca. And he was a very large man dressed in a white suit, wearing a fez, and he was a bit of a black marketeer. So I knew exactly the type of character that Stephen Moffat had in mind.
Okay. Now, when you first read, when you got done with the character, in Pandorica Opens, did you even imagine that he would be having another role in the show later on, or did that catch you by surprise?
It did catch me by surprise because it always was only 6 lines in one scene. And it was, in fact, exactly a year later that they called to say that they were going to bring Dorian back. And up to that point, I had no idea at all. And of course, when they called, it was a month before we actually filmed. So it was all very short notice. And then when I did A Good Man Goes to War, it was only a few weeks later that they called again for The Wedding of River Song. So I had no idea at all, no idea how the character was going to develop. But having spoken to both Toby Haynes and Stephen Moffat, they both say that weren't sure what to do with Dorium, but the fact that the fans were interested in Dorium meant they had to do something, and that's why I ended up effectively doing 4 episodes.
Okay. Would you like to have Dorium come back with Peter Capaldi?
Oh, I personally, yes, I would love to go head to head with Capaldi. No pun intended, of course. But it's up to the powers that be. I know the fans want more of Dorium, and so in that sense, I feel Dorium will come back. But as to when, who knows? But I've let it be known that if they do want to bring Dorium back, I would be more than happy to continue. But if they don't want me, or they don't want to write Dorium back in, I have to move on and as a jobbing actor and take the next job that comes along.
Exactly. When you were growing up, had you been exposed to Doctor Who before this, or?
Yes, I was born in 1961, so when Doctor Who started, I was 2. And I fully admit that I don't know I can't remember the first episode, but I do remember William Hartnell in his latter years and him changing to Patrick Troughton. And as a family, we used to watch Doctor Who and discuss some of the storylines. So yes, I've been a follower of Doctor Who for 50 years.
Wow, so you must have been a little bit bowled over when they contacted you to play an actual role on the show.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as a child, I always fancied the idea of being the Master. But I think Dorium is a much better character than the Master because the Master is just pure evil, whereas Dorium is multi-layered and you don't really know whether he is good or bad. And that is the element of Dorium that I really enjoy. So, yes, um, yeah, when they first called me, of course I wanted to be. I was delighted to be offered Dorium, and I was going to appear in my favourite show. And then when I ended up doing nearly 4 episodes, of course, I'm very proud. In fact, very proud.
Have you been keeping up with the show since then? Because I know you've been rather busy lately.
But keeping up with the show whilst you're on the go is difficult. But I did see most of the last series.
Okay, what is your take on Michelle Gomez as the Master?
Sorry.
Did you enjoy Michelle Gomez's performance as the Master?
Oh yeah, as Missy. Yes, yes, very much indeed. And of course, what it has done, it's put in the principle that that a Time Lord can change the sex, which opens it up to a female Doctor.
Okay, given your choice, what is your favorite, having been an actor on stage, film, and screen? Do you prefer stage, film, or television?
I prefer working. So whoever offers me a job, yeah, whoever offers me a job first, I enjoy. I do enjoy the stage. It's where I started, and what I do enjoy, particularly doing my show, is the feedback from the audience all the time. So yes, I do enjoy the stage, but I enjoy it all, to be honest. I'm still a child with a playing with a favorite toy.
All right. Um, are there any other projects coming up in the near future for you want to let the fans know about?
Let's have a think. In the UK, last year, 2014, filmed a new comedy series for the BBC called Puppy Love, and that was screened just before Christmas in the UK. So I know it will be going worldwide. So for those outside of the UK, just look out for it. It will be coming to a screen near you very soon. I'm very sure. And we're just waiting to hear if a second series is to be commissioned.
Okay, well, that's all the questions I had for you, really. I just want to say I really enjoyed the interview. I hope you have as well.
Yes, always very good speaking to everybody across the world, as they say. I hope my answers are satisfactory.
Okay, if you ever want to sit in on a podcast with us, my weekend shows, the Omega Files, I'd love to have you just as a panelist sometime.
Well, yeah, yes, absolutely. Time allowing.
Exactly, always on the move. I want to thank you for this time, Simon. This is my first, really big interview, and I want to say I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much indeed, and good luck with everything.
All right, take care, Simon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.